I suspect is the teeth hitting the tank, and it shot out in front of me, and I wasn't really sure how big a shark or what kind of shark it was at that point until it came back at me. Then I knew right away it was a great white then.
And the visibility doesn't look like you had great visibility here.
No, it was, we have an average of, maybe 10 to 15 foot of viz where we dive out of, out in our area. So it's, it was good for our viz.
And I mean, I understand the shark, as you said, he went away, came back about 8 minutes or so later, and I see you're pointing your spear gun. I mean, you're trying to keep it in front of, between you and the shark, which is obviously, I guess, a wise thing to do. You poke it several times. Did you get the sense that it was aggressive or just curious?
Well, once I poked it a few times. I've had other shark encounters, and you poke them, with different types of sharks, and they leave right away. I noticed this one didn't want to leave. It kept getting more aggressive. So there at the last, I hit it pretty hard, and it left long enough for me to get away and get to the surface. So I was glad about that.
It's got. I mean, I've gone diving a couple times for stories with great whites off Cape Town, and the visibility was really low. And there's nothing creepier than suddenly seeing an enormous great white come out of the shadows, essentially. What was that feeling like?
It was overwhelming. You don't like you said, 15 feet away, and then it just appears right on you. And most of this video, it's only 6 to 7 foot away from me. And so yeah, it's I was more worried about how I was going to get to the surface, if it was going to leave me. I knew I had plenty of oxygen left because I just got down there. So I was grateful that he did decide to leave after I poked him pretty hard that last time.
I understand you went diving though again later that day. I mean, a lot of people might be like, you know what, I'm going to take a couple days off.
Yeah, when I got to the surface and told my friends what I'd seen, and and told the story and everything, we loaded up our everything, and we ran about 3 or 4 miles down the reef and started and dove the rest of the day. And we didn't see any more sharks that day.
I imagine one of the creepier moments was as you're exiting, you get back in your boat and your feet are still in the water. Was there a moment when you thought, you know what, I just got to get in the boat as quickly as possible?
Yeah, I can promise you that was the fastest I've gotten to the surface at that depth. That was what I was worried about. When I was hiding behind the rock there, you got a little bit of protection. He's not going to come from underneath of you or the behind the rock at you. When you're going up, he can come from any direction. So that's what I was more worried about.
Did you think at any point of actually firing your spear gun?
Right there at the end, you can see it comes around right before I hit it hard the last time. You can see me reach up and start to unhook my line from my shaft in case I had to shoot it. But it returned on me too fast, and I had to hit it that last time, and I hit it as hard as I could, and I actually seen the tip go into the shark this time, and that's when it took off long enough for me to get away.
And I mean, I guess a spear gun like that, frankly, wouldn't do all that much to a 14 or 15 foot, long shark.
Yeah, that was going through my mind too. It's like, it's not going to do nothing, but I hope it scares him enough to get away.
When I went diving with sharks, the expert I was diving with told me I should project confidence. I was like, how do you project confidence through a wetsuit and a snorkel and a goggle and all that? I guess you were projecting confidence.
Yeah, that's, just